Hello, good day, everybody. Let me just start up Maya. Welcome to the UV unwrapping of the aircraft helmet in Maya. Okay, so I already have this file saved, and just gonna open it up and look at this. Really cool model and everything. Couple of things I have to check. If you remember last class, um, I had saved a I saved a project, and in my source images, I have like this checker pattern here. In a few minutes, you're gonna see what I did with this. Okay, all right. So so you're gonna see what I do with this checker pattern in a second. So this asset is a hero asset. Meaning it's gonna probably be up close. It's not a prop. It's a part of like a character, and it's gonna be up close and personal. Okay. So let's get started. There's a couple of things that I like to do. I like to go onto my custom shelf, and I like to I like to go to my UV, and I like to add the 3D cut and sew tool because I'm going to be using it a lot. So in order to add like a tool that you're going to use regularly to your shelf, if you hold on Control and Shift and left click, you see it's added to the shelf. So add tools that you're going to be using regularly, and yeah. So I already have it on my shelf, so I'm just gonna like delete it. Okay, so that's one tip. When it comes to UVing, there's this rule. It's varied from studios to studios, and it varies from gaming to VFX for animation and animation. But I'm gonna try to explain it in my way and my understanding. I advise you to, yes, search the web and get other people's opinion, and then in the end, you reach your same conclusion. You reach your own conclusion. Okay? So, textile density, this word is called textile density. Textile density, also referred to as pixel density or texture density, is a measurement unit used to make assets cohesive compared to each other throughout your entire world. It's measured in pixel per centimeters or pixel per meters, and so forth. Okay, so look at the word textile density online. You can probably see tons of video on YouTube of other people explaining it. I'm just gonna just quickly go over it and whatnot. All right, so keep the textile density thing in mind while I select this thing. The first thing when I'm using an asset, I like to go File, Save As, and just save a version of. So I have, as you can see, I have plenty version here. So I'm just gonna save this as version 3. Okay. Now that I save it as version 3, you can save it as whatever version you want. Just that you have to version it up, so you could have copies of it in case you make a mistake, delete something. You never know. Maya crash, you lose your whole file. At least you know you can go back and start. Okay. So first thing I like to do when I'm UV unwrapping, I like to select everything here, and then I like to go to UV, planar projection, option box, and then if by default nothing is confusing here selected, click on keep height ratio, and I want the one say camera, and I'm going to apply. So go to your UV editor. You're going to be in UV editor a lot, so do what I showed you in the beginning. which is hold on Control and Shift and left click and you add it to the shelf. So if you click on here, it's right there. Okay. So yeah, so what is it? What did this do? Okay, so, and this is my favorite method of how I UV stuff. Yeah, so a couple of things happen. If I click on here, you can see that each asset that's on this UV unwrap thing here, you see everywhere you see the checker pattern where it says it's squared, it looks like everything is scaled evenly, and that's kind of like what we want in the end. But like if you look over here, you can see it's distorted. So the scaling of the UV is perfect. It's just that we just gonna move it around and do it we're gonna do this thing called unwrapping. So how to move this thing here, I just basically select this thing here, and I could right click, go to UV and select everything, press W for move, and then you just move it around if you want. You could press R for scale and you scale it up. I'm gonna undo. You could press E for rotate and you can rotate. You have the rotate tool. Alright, so anyway, so I'm gonna press button to move tool. Alright, so now that I got everything evenly spaced out, I'm just gonna go in and start cutting up things. So for example, the visor. So just gonna minimize this, and as you can see, this is a double-sided piece. You remember that tool that I brought here? I'm gonna click on it, and then I'm gonna obviously another thing we have to be mindful of is where we put in our seams. So you see this, I cut this in two, and I put the seams basically behind. You cannot see the seam, right? You cannot see it. So that is what I want. So I'm gonna turn off the checker pattern, and I'm gonna just select object mode and turn on the checker pattern for a second. And now that I did the cut on here, I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna go select here, then I'm gonna go to unfold, and then I'm gonna unfold. I'm gonna click on here to make it blue. If your UV mesh is in blue, it means it's good. Okay, just remember that. All right, we cut this and we unfold it, but like we have to do other things to it. Some pieces are going in this way, some pieces are going that way. So obviously we're gonna have to fix this thing. So click on arrange on layout, and this is called orange shell, and voila. Okay, so if they're not overlapping like this and you wanna move piece individually, you just select here and you go right click to shell, and you press W and you just move it up all the way. Alright, if you right click and go edge and you select this, you notice like this edge is corresponding to this edge. You could have leave it like this, but like I think this would be a good trick to show you how to sew. So I'm gonna highlight the bottom piece, and you can see immediately it pointing to this piece. You press Control, you press Shift, right click, and hold, and move and sew, and then like that. And then you could go back in here, grab these guys here, and unfold them, and make sure they're nicely done. Okay. For now, we're gonna like take this piece here and we're just gonna move it out of the way for now. We're not packing it yet. We're not doing anything to it. We're just moving it out of the way. And actually, another thing I like to do is delete history. You see all these things over here? When you unwrap something, please, I'm asking you, please delete history. Where do you find this history tool? You go edit, delete by type, And because it's a regular thing that we're going to be doing, what we're going to do, we're going to hold on Shift, Control, and left click, add it to the shelf, and see the history is gone. Okay, so that's good. We're going to do this to the end to the overall pieces, but I just thought I'll just show you guys that. Okay. All right. So the visor thing here is done. And I'm going to create a folder over here and just call it done UVs, and just going to hide that piece. I'm going to move on to another piece. So I'm going to select here and isolate here. And I'm going to, remember we talked about the seam. So I'm going to just make sure I click on here. And I'm going to go back to the UV editor. I'm going to turn off checker pattern here. And because I want to see where the line goes. And it looks like it goes all the way around. Okay. There's little divots here, but I think when we unfold, it could fix all of that issue. So let's go to the UV editor again. So remember we put it on the shelf. So click on that. I hope you put it on the shelf. And we're gonna just right click, select everything, and then unfold, and just like that. And then we're gonna go orange shell, and just like that. And then right click UV, right click, control right click to shell, W, move that up, and as you can see, both these pieces are done. So we're just going to rest them there for now. We're going to do something in the end called packing, but for now we're just going to rest them up here while we finish up. Okay, so I'm going to delete history, going to put it on the shelf, put it on the layer here. Okay, so we're on to the next piece, and here we go, another piece. And as you can see, we're going to do a lot of repetitive things here. So if this is boring you, please stand in there. This must be done in order for us to texture this asset. So please bear with me. Okay. All right. So here we go. All right. So we're gonna click on here, and then boom, just like that. And then what we're going to do again, yes, you understand. So press F to frame. I'm going to press Q for selection. I'm going to right click and go to UV. And I'm going to grab everything, and I'm going to press unfold. I'm going to select here. And I think something is up here, because one of the pieces didn't, I don't know what's this. I don't know what's this. I don't know. Well, I'm gonna investigate. So I'm gonna select this piece here, and oh, I think maybe I accidentally duplicated it. So yeah, I think I accidentally duplicated it. Yeah. So it should only be this piece here. So press here, press F, and then we're going to go here, and then we're going to orient shell, and then I could rotate these. You notice I let my shells go in one direction. I don't make them go here and then here. I make them go in one direction. So please have in mind which direction you want your mesh to flow. Remember that, please. Okay, there's a reason why I said that, because once you go to texture or something, you're gonna have like texture running here, texture running right there, and then you're gonna have to come back in Maya and fix it. So I've gone through that a lot, so based on my experience, I want to let you correct it from here. So alright, so I'm gonna go transform, and I could easily just go click here and rotate the mesh, and then I could just go right click to shell and then move it to the side. And then we could just move them here. We could just have them rest. We could just have them rest over here for now. Just like that. Okay? Just have them rest over there. Alright, cool. So that part is done. Delete history. Put it on the shelf. Put it on there. Now would be a good time to save the file. So Control S to save. Alright, next move is this piece. So this piece is rather interesting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my cut tool, and then I'm gonna select here, cut here, and cut here, cut here. Okay. All right. After I cut that, then I don't know if I should cut like a. I don't know if I should cut a seam. It's gonna have a weird seam at the front there, so try to avoid that. Alright. Okay, cool. So trying to think where I should put this seam. Okay. Maybe I could put it underneath here and one here, so it's not like blatantly in the front, right? But let's see how it unfolds. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna press Q, and then I'm gonna just select this, move this away, and I'm gonna just go back to unfold, and that's beautiful. That's exactly what I want. Okay, and again, I have things flowing into like a particular direction. So this one here, unfold, and just like that. So you see, I had to do some thinking where I want my scene to appear. Yes, we do have 3D paint packages with triplanar projections, but let's just let this chill here for a second. So we have triplanar projection, all that kind of stuff, but we want to make sure to do as much as hiding the scene as much as possible. So let's put that on the layer, and then we're left with these two pieces. So now we have this tube-like thing here. It's a cylinder, so all we need to do is grab here, cut here, and that's it. Cut here, and then cut here, and cut that. Alright, now we go to UV editor, and let's go press Q, and then right click to UV, and then select everything, and then unfold. I knew this thing was gonna come out. But okay, this is fine. Okay, the manifold things, just press OK, and then go to onion shell. I like to go back to rotate under transform. Go to rotate, and it's rotate. And then what I like to do is press W, move this aside, and I like to press W and rotate these guys too, and I like to not let these overlap, so just like that. Alright, and this is kind of too long for the quadrant thing here, so I'm just gonna like cut this in two. So I'm just gonna right click, go to edges, gonna go to shift, right click, and then cut it. And then I'm gonna just select here to shell, and then put it side by side, put this here, no, put this here, and we have this fitting inside of here, but they're all going in the same direction. Remember that, please remember that. That could come back and haunt you in the end. So that's done. Put that over here, and then we have these little pieces. That'll be a good time to save our file. Okay, So now we have this piece here. We're just gonna press F to frame in on it, and it looks like a cylinder. So we're gonna go click here and then cut. Easy does it. Go to UV editor, press F to frame, press Q, press right click to UVs, and then select, and then we go to unfold, and then we rotate. No, we got to go orient shell, so straight, and then we could just let that chill here for a bit, and let's just delete history and so forth. Yeah, and then put it on here. Then we continue. We have this piece now. Let's see if we could select multiple pieces here. So we have this, and we could just like isolate here, select this piece, and it looks like it's a tube-like object. I'm going to use the cut tool, and I'm just gonna like select that, and it cuts that, but I'm also gonna cut the edge here, and what else? I'm gonna cut the edge here, like it's like a box, so I'm gonna cut here, and I'm gonna cut here. So I'm cutting it up like as if it's a box, right? The same thing for this angle. I'm just gonna cut here. So it's just like you're cutting up a box, okay? And it's like a square object, so you know that's why we're doing this. So we're gonna go back to here. We're gonna cut that, and then we're gonna treat this the same way. So select that, and cut this like so. You don't have to, because it's like a round off kind of corner. So those two are cut. Let's select this piece here. I was gonna isolate it, but then I think I should isolate it. So I'm gonna isolate it because I just want to look at it when I'm cutting it. So you see how close I move into the object? That's what I want you to do. I'm going to cut off, and this is not the modeling tool. This tool is not the modeling tool, specifically for the UV, so don't mistake both the modeling cut tool with this one, please. You'll really run into a lot of trouble. So here we go. Hopefully you guys will be able to follow along, follow this video, and just follow along when you're unwrapping yours. Okay. Alright, so I cut those, and then I'm going to make just like a one-way right beside it right there. And then I'm going to turn on back those, and I'm going to grab these, and then I'm going to just like isolate here, go to my UV editor, press F to frame, I'm going to go right click, go to UVs, and then I'm going to go unfold. You see how fast I'm moving. I'm going to go orient shell, and then I'm going to just right click, whoops, no, to shell, move them off to the side. Remember, it's a strap, so I like all of them to be going in the same direction. Same thing for this. Rotate it around, and same thing for here. Rotate it around. Yeah, so if you want to straighten these out, you could straighten them out. If you're being really picky, you can straighten them out. I would like to show you how to straighten them out. So I just select, right click, and go to UV and select, and then I press the D key, and then I move this down here. Then I press the E key for rotate, and then I just rotate a little bit. And then I'm gonna select everything that's here, and then I'm gonna right click to shell, Then I'm gonna rotate it a little bit, and then I'm gonna select everything that's in the middle, and then I'm gonna go unfold, and it's a little bit straighter, but you could be nitpicky and eventually straighten it out properly. Up to you, but I think I'm good there. I'm just gonna leave it like that to show. Then I'm gonna put that like that, and like that, and then like that, and like that. Okay. Alright, cool. Alright, so we're just gonna leave these up here for now. Gonna select that. Remember, one thing we have to do is delete history. So delete the history is gone. All the information over here is gone. Put it on the shelf. Open it up. So this thing isolate stuff I forgot to tell you. So yeah, let's move on to this side. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna do the same things, and we're just gonna select here, and we're just gonna cut here. We're gonna cut inside here, and cut inside here, and then we have to cut a seam inside here too. And we could have, because these guys are combined, we could have, like, if they were separate, we could have like transferred UVs, but they're combined, so we're gonna have to, the same thing we did to that side, we have to do the same side here. So select that and select that. Make sure it goes right around. It looks good. You see that white border line? That's what we're following. That's how we know our object, our UVs are cut. Okay? Yes. So go to UV editor and press F. Press Q, right click, go to UVs, select everything, and then unfold. Then we're going to go all the way down here and then go to orange shell. Now we could select, move that up. We could select over here, and we can just rotate them. I think they're okay like that. And rotate. Well, this is rotate okay. I'm gonna select that, and then I'm gonna select that, and just to show, and I'm just gonna move it over here, right? Okay. So those look okay for now. We're just gonna put them down here for now. And then, yes, you guessed it, I'm gonna select everything, delete history, and add it to that shell. Gonna press Control C. And then I think these guys, gonna have to unfold these pieces. So I'm gonna save. Always save often as possible because mine could crash. And this piece is a little bit like a mechanical piece, so I'm very careful how I'm gonna cut this up. So I'm gonna put that like that. Cut it, goes all the way around. Then I want to cut here. I'm going to cut here like so. And I want to cut here. And I want to cut here. Alright, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to cut here, cut here, cut here, cut here, cut here, and I'm going to cut here, here, and cut here and here, and continue cut here. I think there's an issue right here because this just come up. It's more than 5 faces here, so Probably gonna have to talk to the model about that.